Larry and Melissa from Tri-County Golf Ranch.
How you guys doing?
Really?
Yeah, I couldn't help it. We'll just continue, go.
Is there really such a thing as perfect?
No, not in golf anyway.
Yeah.
But I do like to think there's a perfect practice or a perfect routine. I think so.
All right, so how does that work?
Well, I kind of go back to what Nicholas said. He hit 60 balls in 60 minutes. Tiger kind of copied his thing. They kind of hit probably the day of a tournament, they probably hit 10 to 15 wedges. They probably hit somewhere between 7 and 10 7-irons. They probably hit somewhere between 7 and 10 5-irons, and maybe 5 to 10 drivers. That's probably at the max. If they're not really close to what they're working on, maybe a few other balls, but they always end up with a couple wedges, and it comes up to about, maybe 50 or 60 balls. Maybe that might be pushing it, but that's about right where they go, right in that zone. And they're just looking on things. But when they're practicing, let's say it's a Wednesday before Thursday, they're probably working on alignment. They have alignment rods down. They're working on balance. They might have some discs or something to stand on for balance.
And are they playing 18 holes for every practice round?
No, they're not. They're probably, Monday they might play 9 holes, then they chip and putt. Tuesday they might play 9 holes and hit some balls. Very seldom they play 18 unless they've never played the golf course, and they might go out and play 18 on one of the days. But more than likely they're just playing 9 holes and chipping and putting, 9 holes hitting some range balls.
When I heard for Phil, it takes him 6 hours just to play 9 holes during a practice round.
It does. So what a lot of the guys do, they play 9 holes. They hit maybe 1 or 2 drives, and they'll probably hit 1 or 2 shots into the green. They pick them up, and their caddy, who's caddying for them at the time, is probably throwing 10 to 15 balls around the green, bunker shots, chip shots. And they'll go where, they're going to put a pin here, they're going to put a pin here, they're going to put a pin here, they go to put a pin here. And then they'll hit chip shots to that certain area, knowing which way it's going to kind of break, or are they chipping uphill or downhill. So it takes Phil and those guys a long time to play 9 holes. They're out there a long time because they're going, I'm going to hit my iron shot here. What if I miss it here? They're looking for, I hate to say it this way, but they're looking where they can miss a golf ball.
Right. Absolutely.
So can I attack this flag, and if I pull it or push it, where is it going to lead me? So that's what they kind of do. And I think we watch a lot of high school golfers and junior and middle school golfers, and they struggle in understanding how to play golf.
Well, that, and I think there's a generational gap where the parents really haven't played golf.
Right.
So they don't understand what to expect of their child to practice. So, for example, swim team, they meet every day, and there's a coach there every day giving them a workout. High school basketball, there's a coach in their face every day. But golf is a little different, where we might have a lesson with them once a week, but they're expected to practice on their own the rest of the week. And that could be time in the mirror at home. It could be hitting range balls. It could be, what I love about our golf course is we have a 3-hole loop. So you can play 1, 8, and 9 very easily. You can play 1, 2, 7, 8, and 9 if you want to play 5 holes. Right. But I think both of us agree, the more you can play golf,
during that in-between time,
you're gonna learn a lot faster than just.
I mean, how many times do we ask our students, what do you feel? And they can't really tell you what they feel.
Right, there's not an awareness there. We talk about proprioception a lot, and that's your ability to feel, your awareness, what's going on in your body. And they start to just go through the motions. Right. And I'll have some swimmers, and I say, well, do you just slap your hand on top of the water? Well, no. I put my hand in like this. Yeah. And when they do that, it's like, okay, well, golf is the same way. You don't just throw the club up in the air and then hope that it comes down and hits the golf ball. Right.
There's a lot of feel in every sport, and for some reason in golf, they're not practicing the right way. They're not understanding how to practice. And you and I, we practice every day. Some days we might play 1, 8, 9 or 1, 2, 7, 8, 9. Some days we hit range balls. Some days we chip and putt. We do it differently. We mix it up, which I think you should, because we could get bored. But we have a routine in what we got to practice and how it's done. And I think a lot of the people that we teach, they're not understanding how to really practice. And that's hard. In today's society and social media and the YouTube and all that stuff, they feel like they can get information right now, and they should be able to grasp it right now. And I still think there's mechanics, but there's a lot of feel in golf.
Right, and there's the understanding that to actually make a better swing motion, you have to actually swing the golf club.
You have to actually swing the golf. Yeah, actually, we might be able to swing a golf club, but we have to understand where impact is, and they actually have to hit balls.
Right.
You know,
and actually, one of the best things they can do is actually swing in slow motion in front of a mirror and feel and watch what's going on with their body, and then you can bring it up to speed and do it faster. But until we can master it in slow motion,
that's right.
There's really not a reason to do it faster.
You know, we talk about we go down to the range and we're given a lesson, and we see people come down that we're giving lessons to, that they're there. And what's the first club they pull out?
They pull out their driver.
They pull out their driver.
Absolutely. And understand that we swing our wedge just like our driver, and our driver just like our wedge. And the better we get at our wedges, the more pressure it takes off of our long game. And it's difficult to hit 30 drivers in a row without getting tired.
That's
and
right.
Also, automatically, when you stick a driver in someone's hands, they swing harder.
They do every time.
And not faster. I mean, we want to swing a driver faster.
Not harder.
They swing harder. Yeah. And so then posture is out the window. Any kind of great rotation they had, balance, it's all gone.
That's
so
right.
If you only have 20 minutes, hit some wedges.
Hit wedges.
And forget about the rest of it, because you've actually, that wedge swing is exactly what you're going to do with your driver.
Yeah, it's we kind of giggle at it when we see that. I'm here to tell you, there's not one guy or not one girl on the tours that go to practice that pull the driver out first.
Absolutely.
They all start, every one of them start with a wedge.
We even Scott, our long drive guy, when he comes over for lessons,
starts out
we're
with wedges.
Starting out with wedges and 8 irons. Then we hit his normal golf driver, and then we pull out his long driver, and that's the last thing he hits. Now, because long drive is his sport, he tends to hit more drivers than anybody else.
Right.
But that's because that's his sport.
Right.
On our golf course, or on any golf course, you're only going to hit driver 14 times.
8 to 14 times.
Right. And you're going to hit how many putts?
Well, on average, 36, I guess.
Right. And so then the rest of your strokes are coming from between the tee shot and getting on the green.
That's right.
So why wouldn't we practice that the most? Because that's what we're hitting the most when we're on the golf course.
I'm here to tell you, you would not believe how much they work on their short game. They work probably 70% more on their short game than their long game.
Absolutely.
And no one wants to believe that because they think they hit all these range balls and make perfect golf swings.
And everyone keeps talking about so-and-so is on TrackMan for 4 hours a day.
Right.
Which we know that's not true either.
That's not true either. Unless they're working on wedges, but I'm here to tell you, they're not out there for 4 hours straight at a time. They're not.
Right.
The body can't take it.
Right. Absolutely.
So, do you have anything on your perfect practice? I mean, I know we like to practice on a lot of the same things. But
mine's more emotional at this point. My golf swing's pretty much how we want it.
Right, I would agree.
And we continue to improve upon it, but at the same time, I'm more working on balance. I'm working on how I feel when I'm hitting the golf balls.
Right.
You know, if we're having a bad day at work, it's really not a good idea to go hit golf balls because it's just going to go right into my golf swing.
Yeah, that's right.
So understanding when is a good time to practice. Are you better off practicing in the morning or the evening or the afternoon? What is your time? And it's different for everybody.
You know, I used to laugh. I used to I still give a boatload of lessons, but when I was at other facility, I had 3 doctors that they wanted to practice first thing in the morning. Mm-hmm. They wanted to practice. They wanted to hit their range balls, take their golf lesson at 6 a.m. before they went in. Mm-hmm. And I asked them why, and they said, "Man, we might be somebody might have died on the table. They don't want to deal with all that stuff afterwards. They're tired. They're exhausted." They said they wake up at 4:30 in the morning, exercise, and they want to get their practice in. Then they got a good fresh mind. Mm-hmm. Their body feels good, and they don't want to come after all that trauma and try to take a golf lesson.
Yeah, and you always throw that quote by Ben Hogan out in front of everybody. You know, take one day off of practice, and it takes you how many days to get back?
It takes a week.
Which I understand the quote, but at the same time, if you're not in the right space, you really have no business practicing.
It's right.
But then there's a practice of trying to get yourself in the right space because we have tournaments on sometimes not so good days for us, but yet we want to perform well. Yeah. And so it's a practice itself, just getting yourself up emotionally so that you can practice.
You know, there's been several times that we're on a range practicing right before a tournament. And I said, "Guys, I better quit. I'm hitting it so bad. I better go get my chipping and putting down."
And that's the truth too. If you're not hitting it well, go do something else for a little bit and
chip
then come
and putt.
back.
That's right.
So chip and putt, or go back to a different wedge, or we'll have some days we hit our wedge okay, we hit our 8-iron okay, but as soon as we get to our 5-iron, it's just not good. Our tempo's off, something's not right. So we go back to wedge, and then we might pull out driver and hit 3 drivers, but they're not quite there. So we go back to wedge, and then when we go back to our driver, we're usually in a much better position because we got our tempo under control.
I like to do that with my putting and chipping. I like to chip and chip and putt. That helps me get my rhythm back and my feel before I go back after, because I don't know one person has had perfect practice every time.
Right.
Or perfect feel.
Right, but it's understanding who you are and what you want to achieve and how to get there. And so, it's different for everybody.
It's different for everybody.
So after 10 minutes, it just came down. It depends who you are and what you want to do.
That's pretty much, doesn't it?
Yeah. But beating balls aimlessly is not usually the best way to achieve it.
Yeah, you're right. Practice has completely changed over. When I first started, I used to hit range balls until my hands would bleed. I knew that I had a perfect practice when I did that, or I practiced the right way. And they don't do that anymore. None of them do.
Absolutely.
So.
All right, so if you need your practice set out for you, we can definitely create a practice for you.
We can.
So come see us, email us, text us, call us.
Subscribe
down there in the corner.
And bug us. We like it.
Thanks, and have a great day.
See you guys. Bye.
Hi, it's Larry and Melissa again. Thanks so much for watching our videos. If you have any questions or want to get in touch with us, you can email us, you can call us,
text us.
But be sure to subscribe.
Down on the bottom down there.
Thank you.